Hey guys, welcome back. It's Keith with Dad's Two Cents. The other day we talked about getting older and the benefits to getting older. And I'll put a link to that video here at the end. But today we're going to talk about the worst things about getting older and kind of the negativity about getting older. And I want to try to put a positive spin on it. Now I know that, there's just negative things in life, and getting older, there's just some negative things. You can't deny that. But I wanted to kind of try to, put a little spin on it, to where not everything is bad. Sometimes we just think, well, that's just the way it is, and I just got to deal with it. And it can be kind of depressing. So I want to talk about, some things that, and hopefully can be positive about those things, getting older. So the first thing, of course, is looks change, right? We begin to look different. We usually put on a little weight. That's usually one thing that is noticeably different. So our face, fills out, and our belly, and our butt, whatever. We just get bigger in places we don't want to necessarily, and so we change a lot. We get wrinkles and things like that. And so there's some things we can do. We can exercise, we can diet, we can change some of that. Maybe the wrinkles we can't completely get rid of, and all that, but that's okay. Just own it. I mean, there's I look at so many actors out there, and we've watched age, and now they got wrinkles, and it's kind of weird to see them, but it's like they look great. So it's okay. It's part of who they are. And so just own it. Don't let the changes in your body and your life get you down. Okay. So number two, again, it's kind of to do with looks, but it's about our hair. We either lose our hair, it thins, or it turns gray or white, changes color. So things you can do. Of course, you can color your hair. A lot of people do that. And still kind of keep that younger look. If it's starting to thin a little bit, so like I say, you can either own it just like it is. I mean, I think of Gene Hackman, great actor, and as long as I can remember, he's had a receding hairline, as long as I can remember, and he owns it. I mean, that's who he is. That's what he's supposed to look like. You can't expect to see him or any other way. So some people shave their head and have that bald look, and they look awesome. Sometimes more macho. Sometimes they just look maybe even better than they did with hair. You know what I mean? So there's all kinds of things you can do and kind of put like I say, a new twist on things, and just own it. Own who you are and enjoy who you are. So don't let the age get to you. In other words, don't let it win. Number three, feel different overall. You maybe get up, you're a little stiff where you used to not be. You maybe not as energetic as you used to be. Your eyesight changes. You need glasses, contacts, or whatever. Sometimes your hearing can go, that kind of thing. But you can get glasses, contacts. You can get hearing aids. There's lots of things you can do there. As far as your body, again, you can exercise. I mean, I feel great. I'm 59. I'll be 60 this year, and I feel better than I probably did in my 20s. Honestly, I just do. I don't get tired that much. I really don't get as much sleep as I probably should, and work a 8-9 hour day, but I feel great all the time. I just don't really. I'm not saying I ever get tired and that kind of thing, but I'm just meaning, I don't have aches and pains and that kind of thing. I feel really good. And so I do exercise some, not as much as I'd like to. I'm trying to get into a little bit more of that this year. But anyway, that's something you can do. You can walk, and if you don't have a place for exercise equipment or the money to do that, you can join a gym. That can be expensive too, but you can get around people and that kind of thing. That can be nice. Or if you've got a road, a place you can walk, some paths you can walk, or a park or something like that, you can get out and walk and get some exercise that way. Do some calisthenics at home. There's all kinds of things that you can do to get that energy back and not feel stiff, and when you get up and make a lot of noises that you didn't make when you were younger when you stand up out of the chair. So anyway, just some good things you can do there. It's awesome. So number four, more friends and family have passed away. When you're younger, seems like everybody, there may be people that passed, before you came around, great grandparents or whatever, maybe even some grandparents, but you really don't know of anybody that's passed, for a few years, even in your teenage years and things like that. And I had my grandparents for the ones that some of it already passed, but the other ones I had, one of them lived to be, she was in her like 91, I guess. So I was married, grown and married at that time, in my 30s. when she passed away. So, but as you get older, yeah, grandparents are gone. Sometimes your parents are gone. My spouse is gone. She passed away 4 years ago this year, and so friends, a lot of friends, even classmates, things like that. Celebrities, that's tough too. Even though you don't know those people personally, but it's tough to see celebrities, singers that you grew up with and listening to, and actors and that kind of thing. Seeing them, a lot of them gone. But so there's a lot of a lot of that to deal with, a lot more death maybe that you had to deal with, and I don't know as I have a positive spin on that one. Unfortunately, I guess the main thing is to be thankful for the time you had with those people. That's what I try to do with my wife. I think of my grandma and my grandpa and grandparents and things like. My parents are still alive, but I do think of my grandparents and the times I spent with them, my wife and my friends, the people that passed on, and just be thankful for that time, and find the joy in that, you know what I mean? So that's a blessing that I had them when I had them, you know what I mean? Even if it was just for a few years. So I try to be thankful about that. Number 5, a little more difficult to date, seems like. And I had difficulty dating when I was younger, seemed like. I was pretty shy back then. I'm not shy anymore, if you couldn't tell. But anyway, I'm not shy on camera. I'm really not shy anywhere anymore. I'm just not. But it's a little harder to date because they're married. They've been married for a while. So, I don't find a lot of women my age that are single, it seems like. And so it's a little more difficult, I think, to, it seems like I see somebody like, oh, she's kind of cute, and just kind of maybe looks my way. We make eye contact, and then her husband walks up and grabs her hand, and like, okay, never mind, So it's a little difficult, and I think just meeting people, having places to meet people, even church. I just don't know that many people at church. I don't really, you don't have a chance to just meet somebody unless you're in a small group or something like that. I work from home, so I don't get, I don't meet any coworkers or anything like that, or any customers even. Everybody's on the phone. And so the only time I really meet people is at a restaurant or Walmart, something like that. So it's a little harder I think, to meet people sometimes. It just depends on your circle, social circles, and what groups you're in. So I recommend getting in some groups, if you're having trouble meeting somebody at your age and older, as you get older, and you're either divorced or a widow or widower, and so get in some groups, get to meet some people, and you find the right one. So it's, like I say, a little more difficult to date, I think, just because of that. Just there's not as many people available at my age, it seems like. But maybe that's a myth. I don't know. It's not necessarily a true thing, but it's just it appears to be that way. But number 6, time is shorter. We got a little less time left on this earth. We just know that. We don't know how long that is. Hopefully it's a long time, but it's less time than what we had back here. And again, that's kind of, I know it's a negative thing. It's not really, but the positive thing about that is, again, just being thankful for the time we've had, the years that we have spent on this earth. A lot of people didn't get maybe 59 years, and but regardless of that, just being appreciative of the time you've had and the people you've been able to be around and all the blessings in your life. Instead of seeing it as a negative thing, just say, I look at all the things I've done and accomplished. And if you haven't done as much as you wanted to, then start doing it right now. Don't wait till tomorrow. I didn't get this done. I didn't get that done. I lay awake this morning thinking about some things, even around my house, that I did a few years ago that I wished I hadn't have done, and wished I could undo, and I wished I hadn't spent the money on, and whatever. And it was just, this is dumb. Why am I? It doesn't matter, And it's just a house. I can undo that and redo all that other stuff if I wanted to. Now, some things you can't undo. Things, obviously that have happened, you can't redo those things or undo them. But you can do better in the future, and that's the key to it. Regardless of how much time we have, we don't know that. So make the best of every moment. That's what I say. All right. So number 7, the need for medication. We need medication now a lot of times. Blood pressure medicine and high cholesterol medicine and just different things to keep us alive longer and keep us feeling good. You know what I mean? Maybe some pain medication or whatever, that kind of thing. And then just remembering to take the medication. So a little bit of a negative thing there, but hey, we're thankful that we got the medicine, and that does help us to live longer and have a better quality of life because of that medicine. So, you know, maybe kind of sucks that we have to take it now. We didn't used to have to take it, but you know, we should be thankful that we have it to take, and it does help us, help the longevity of our lives. So anyway, number 8, regrets. Ooh, yeah. So as I mentioned earlier, you know, just thinking about things in the past, you know, and having regrets about things. So that's kind of a, you know, when I was 18, 19, 20, I didn't really have regrets much. You know, it wasn't too much to regret at that point. You know, but as you get older, depending on, you know, how you are about things. You know, I've talked to my dad. He says I don't have any regrets about anything, and I've looked back and I've had regrets and some, you know, mistakes I made and things like that. I wished I could do them differently, but you know what? If you do them differently, it changes your whole life. You know, you go back to the future or go back to the past, and then like Michael J. Fox in Back to the Future, you know, you change one thing, it changes everything. And so you know, I wouldn't change, you know, I think about changing some things, but then it would change other things and that I don't want changed, you know. So just look to the future, and, you know, if you didn't do everything you wanted to back then, or you did some things you wished you hadn't done, you know, make the best of it now and do your best right now, and be the best you can be going forward. Okay, so don't look back. Don't look back. What ifs? That's another thing. Just it's a game that you can't win. Nobody wins the what if game. What if I'd have done this? Kind of with the regrets a little bit, but what if I'd have done this? What if I'd have said this? What if I hadn't said this? What if I hadn't have done this? You know, what if I would have bought Microsoft stock when it, you know, first came out, you know, and just held on to it? You know, we can all say that, but, you know, if I'd have played these numbers at the lottery, whatever, if I'd asked this girl out, you know, if I asked this guy out, if I'd have done this, you know, if I'd just taken this job instead of this job, and, you know, don't do that. Don't play that game, because it's just going to run you around in circles, and nobody wins, okay? And you don't win, and it's just torment on yourself. So don't play the what if game. Listen, like I say, go forward, move forward, do your best with what you have right now, with the knowledge you have and the experience you have, and just move forward and be the best you can be. Last one here, you kind of become in my case, the guy. You become the old guy. You become a grandpa. You know, you got kind of get labeled as being old. You know, people assume you're a grandpa. I'm not a grandpa yet, because I had kids late in life, so my kids are teenagers. You know, but yeah, I look like a grandpa, and I could be their grandpa, honestly, if I'd have had kids, you know, in my late teens, 19, 20, you know, or whatever, mid 20s even, you know. So you know, you kind of get labeled as an old guy. There's an old codger there, you know, old guy there. It's kind of weird, because, you know, he's like, I'm not an old guy. I don't feel old, you know. I feel young, but you get labeled that because of the gray hair and the, you know, the wrinkles and the look. You know, I got the gray goatee and all that stuff, you know. So it shows, you know. I can't hide it. and so I have a channel called Fretmore Guitar that I do guitar lessons, and people say, good job there, Grandpa, or something, you know, and just make little comments like that, you know. And so you just got to kind of get like, okay, hey, just have fun with it, you know. Used to make me mad when people would say, is that your, and they have recently even said, is that your grandkids? No, it's my kids, okay, you know. But they assume with the gray hair, you know, you're a grandpa and that kind of thing. So you just kind of have to embrace that, have fun with it, you know. Don't let it offend you. Just, you know, embrace your age, you know, embrace where you're at right now, no matter if you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, it doesn't matter. Embrace it. Enjoy your life every day. Have fun. Enjoy the people that are around you. You know, don't let yourself get offended. Don't be judgmental towards others. You know, show a lot of love and compassion, and just be the best person you can be. And listen, I appreciate y'all tuning in as always. If you could give us a thumbs up on this, subscribe to us, and we're going to have a lot more videos coming out. Like I said, be sure to check out the video we did the other day about the 10 benefits of getting older, and we'll see y'all in the next video. Thanks.